Aloha everyone. Welcome to Sales Wizardry. This is my first live stream after renewing and rebranding the group. I am going to invite some people, just a second, who wanted to be a part of this. To those of you that are popping on and are watching the replay, say replay. In the meantime, I am going to, let's see, Victoria. Hi, Victoria. Nice to meet you. Hello. I'll be seeing you in just a couple of hours. I'm going to invite a couple of people that wanted to be a part of this before I start hammering off. David, this is a super exciting live stream. I like talking about sales just because they have such a negative connotation for people and cause so much stress for people, yet it's one of the coolest experiences that you could possibly have. And today I am going to be talking a lot about what is behind the diagnosis of you saying I suck at sales. Because for each one of you, there's a different issue. And I'm going to be talking about how to mitigate that issue and what you actually need to be focusing on in order to not suck at sales. Because if certain ducks are in a row, each one of you that are in this group are actually really good at sales. You may not believe me now, but you will after we're done with this live stream. And to those of you that are watching this that have been or are my clients, will attest to that as well. I have told a lot of my clients, hey, you're actually really good at sales, and they wouldn't believe me, and then one of them now is a sales coach. How weird is that? So anyway, so to those of you that do not know me, my name is Marina. I'm the creator and founder of this group. I am an intuitive business mentor. I combine energy work and strategy in all facets of what I do. I take a super holographic and super rounded approach to everything that I do. And today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, and that is sales. I'm going to be explaining to you the sales process. But before we go on, to those of you that are watching, I want to ask you, how many of you feel like you suck at sales? You probably wouldn't be here, right, if you didn't feel that. I want this to be interactive. I want you guys to ask questions, whoever's on here. I'm going to start hammering off some symptoms that you might be experiencing right now when it comes to sales, because the sales process is one that involves the initial touch point. I see a like, so I'm guessing that's a suck at sales like. The sales process is one that involves the initial touch point and everything in between, all the way to close. Hi Debbie, hi Dave, hello Victoria. Say hi so that I can talk to you and interact with you and address your specific questions. Hello Lynn, good to see you. Please say hi. Whoever is watching right now, I want this to be interactive. I'm really excited to be talking about sales. This is the bread and butter of any business, and this is honestly the biggest thing that people stress about in their businesses. So today my intention is to help you dispel a lot of the BS that you have around sales and figure out what is actually at the root of the problem of you saying that. Because as I said at the beginning of this live stream, if you are here in this group, you are probably highly intuitive, highly perceptive. You are probably highly personable and highly empathic, which makes you naturally really good at sales. And a lot of the people that are saying they suck at sales have simply been miseducated on what a sale is and what a sale is not. So those of you that are watching, how many of you feel like you actually suck at sales? So go ahead and comment that you feel like you suck at sales, or tell me what has been your sales problem. And then I am going to go through a list of symptoms that you might be experiencing right now in your business that make you feel like you suck at sales, but it's actually a completely different issue altogether, and help you gain confidence in your sales conversations. That is my intention. So please feel free to let me know if you feel like you suck at sales, or if you feel there are specific issues within your business that are driving your sales down right now. Please feel free to comment below. There's a little bit of a delay. I want to see what specific issues you guys are challenged with in your businesses. But as you're doing that, I'm going to hammer off some issues or some challenges that you may have, or some symptoms, if you will. So some of you may feel like you may have energetic money blocks, and that's why you can't make sales. Some of you feel like you have a hard time charging for what you're worth and naming your price. Does any of this sound like you guys? Some of you feel like you can't speak about what it is that you do because your work is highly transformational, it's highly interpersonal, and it's hard to put your genius into words. Just a second. Some of you feel like, you feel bad for taking money from people who are perhaps struggling right now, especially amidst the time of COVID. How many of you can relate to any of the above? Let me know if any of these sound familiar. I am also going to keep hammering off some other symptoms. I'm going to pause for a second and let you guys kind of feel into that. Does that sound like you? Because each one of those problems that you feel you have, each have a different antidote to help you with the sales process. So here are a couple of symptoms that you might be experiencing in your business. First of all, there are no people in your pipeline. And what I mean by that, there are no people that you can interact with that could potentially buy your offer. That is a whole separate problem. Are you experiencing that in your business and then you're attributing it to sucking at sales? Because that's a whole issue altogether. Another symptom you may be experiencing is they may end up talking to you, but the conversation goes to the friend zone really quickly. And you're like, what the hell happened here? That is a whole different issue altogether. It's not necessarily you sucking at sales. It's something completely different. But how many of you can relate to the things that I'm saying right now? Don't be shy. I don't bite. Feel free to ask me questions or feel like I'm talking to you and your business specifically. Please feel free to comment. Or you're getting people on calls, but then they want free strategy sessions and they leave without paying you and you're like, what the hell happened here? Or maybe you're getting people on calls and you're getting to that point, but then they're interested and they say they'll buy from you, but then they give you tons of objections and tons of excuses, and then you're just like, what the fuck? Do I just suck at what I do? Like, what happened here? Or how many of you just don't know altogether? You're like, I don't even know what my problem is. I just feel like I suck at sales, right? And it's frustrating. And it's easy to attribute, the no money problem to I suck at sales problem. When in fact, when we go through these things one by one and dissect them as to what is actually going on in your business, the diagnosis will lead you to where you need to go. I am going to go through the steps of the sales process and give you solutions for each one of these problems. But first, I want to hear from you. What are your specific challenges right now in your business when it comes to sales or meeting your sales goals? Do you have no people in your pipeline and you don't know who to interact with? Do you not know how to speak about what you do? Do you have a lot of people friend zoning you? Do you have people that hop on your sales calls but give you a whole bunch of objections? Do you have a sense of low self-worth and you feel like you can't charge for what you're offering? What is actually going on with you guys? I want to hear from you. I don't know if I'm not seeing comments. I'm going to hop on my laptop real quick. Or if there's a little bit. All right, Victoria. Oh, cool. Okay, so I am seeing comments on my laptop, but they're for some reason not showing up on my phone. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm seeing Lynn. Victoria says, ha, this is so me. I take them to the friend zone. Okay, yeah, and that's very common, and I'll explain that. Glad to catch you live. Yeah, you as well. It's good to see you. I am seeing a bunch of comments, but only on my laptop. So sorry, guys. You guys have been commenting all along, and I just, for some reason, have not been seeing it. So let me catch up on the comments real quick and answer all of your guys' questions. For me, I take them to the friend zone. All right, we have the friend zoner. Dave says, I'm low key and so are my sales, right? So not being outward and about and being like, what the hell is going on with my sales right now? Let's see, what else? Debbie says, that's me, hard to put my genius into words. Yeah, highly eclectic, different offerings, not sure what to focus on, and also very perceptive, transformational, highly intuitive type work. Very hard to put into words. Okay, perfect. Did I miss a lot? No, you did not. We are just getting started. I am talking about the different symptoms that you are having in your business that you're attributing to sucking at sales, but it's not actually a sales problem. Man, all I had to do was just scroll down. What the hell, you guys? Sorry about that. And you guys have been commenting this entire time, so my apologies. So, all of the symptoms that I have mentioned, each one of them has a completely different antidote, okay? And I'm going to go through real quick about the sales process. And for a lot of traditional sales trainings, they use the whole notion of a pipeline, okay? And that's the vocabulary here that I'm going to use with you guys. They're going to use the notion of a pipeline in a lot of traditional sales coaching. However, a lot of these issues and a lot of these problems and sales symptoms that all of you are mentioning to me are actually not sales related. The sale is the last part of the pipeline. The sale is the jackpot. The sale is where you get to take somebody home. Imagine as if you are getting people to come to a happy hour, right? And there's a lot of people over here they're still in bed sleeping, and you're like, come to the happy hour with me. You want to get them to come here. The sales pipeline has a lot of different parts to it. Imagine that this is the close. This is where the magical exchange of money and time and value happens, right here. This is where you want to get people to. Along the pipeline is essentially a different word to describe the sales process. In order to get people into your sales pipeline, this is going to also diagnose what kind of problem you're having in your business in general. Do you have anybody in the pipeline right now to even talk to potentially get them to the happy hour? Like, do you have any friends that you can invite out to the happy hour with you? Or are you all lonely in the online space and you're like, I don't even know what to do? If you have no people in the pipeline, which is one of the things that one of the symptoms that I have first described, then over here, people on the outside of your pipeline are the ones that need to come in. So your business problem is not a sales problem, because the sales problem happens here. It's a marketing problem. It's a problem where you're not getting people into your world, right? So if there's no people that you're talking to right now, it's not you sucking at sales. It's you needing a completely different solution altogether. You're at level 2 and you're trying to get to level 5 by skipping 3 and 4. Okay, so that's something to think about for the first problem that I mentioned. There's no people in your pipeline. As people start to come into your pipeline, there's differing touch points. There's differing touch points depending on how warm, warmer, hot, hotter your lead is. All along this pipeline is where you nurture the audience with differing touch points, creating more and more clarity and incentives. So if the people are here and they know about you, this is where a lot of you guys are getting the friend zone, right? This is where the leads are cold. This is where the dates are awkward whenever you're talking to people. Is right here. I see a like, so perhaps some of you are vibing with that. Is this making sense to you guys so far? If you guys have people here and they're kind of warm and they're hanging around your area and they end up your friends and they think you're really cool and they're like, oh my God, the work that you're doing is so inspiring and I just love you. But you're like, what the hell? Why am I not getting money for what I'm worth? Like, what's going on? You are probably here where you have warm leads that are interested in what you're doing. But the problem here on your end is that there's no clarity. There's no authority. There's no clarity about exactly how or what you're going to say to these people and how you're going to facilitate them once they end up here. Is this making sense to those of you that are watching? So I'm diagnosing your problems one by one along the sales process, along the pipeline. So the clarity about what you're doing involves offer creation, essentially, and really hammering down your offers and focusing on that. Because right now, if they're here and they're friend zoning you, then they're probably actually really confused. They're probably like, I don't really even know what is it that you do. I think you're a really awesome person. Something about your energy and your charisma like really spoke to me, and you have attracted them into your world. So you're really great at marketing, which is a part of a sales process. You're really great at getting people to like, hey, there's a happy hour happening. Come join me. You're really great at that. But over here, there's a little bit of a clarity that's being mistaken. What time is our happy hour? What bar are we going to? Are we going to dance? What shoes do I wear? Do I wear high heels? Like, are we getting drunk or are we getting drunk? You know, I don't drink, you guys, but this is just like a funny analogy to give you. So I'm seeing a lot of hearts and likes. Feel free to stop me, those of you that are watching, if you have any questions. Moving right along, if you have people that are getting on calls, but they end up your friends. You're like, oh my God, I got a person on the sales call, but they're like, yeah, you know, I don't know. And they're perhaps giving you objections like, well, I'm working with another coach, or later, I just don't have the bandwidth right now, I don't have the focus. What is actually happening here is a sense of confidence in a point of differentiation that has not been made. So they have seen your touch points. They're like, man, this lady is really cool, or this man, whoever's watching. This person has a lot of charisma. Oh my God, there's something about them I really vibe with. But they're making it down to here on your pipeline. Remember, over here is closing. They made it like pretty to from lukewarm to like warm. They're like, yeah, you know, maybe I could be free on Thursday night and come join your happy hour. But there's a sense of like, but maybe there's something else out there. Maybe there's something else out there that will suffice my needs versus what you're offering. So the problem here is not you sucking at sales. The problem here is that you have not described your point of differentiation. These are the kinds of things that you would hear, things like brand positioning, or these are the kinds of things of what is it that they're getting from you that they cannot get from another mentor, energy healer, another accountant, another website designer. What is it specifically about you that they're getting that's a buzzword for them that they can associate with? The solution to this problem is twofold. One of it is confidence on your end. The other one is really knowing your point of differentiation, and both internally and strategically emanating that. I hope that makes sense. These are all the things that I work on with my clients in a lot more depth, but I'm trying to show you all along this sales pipeline process that it's not you sucking at sales at each different point, depending on what kind of diagnosis you have right now with your business. It requires a completely different solution. And what I'm trying to tell you here is that you might go chasing a sales coach, but right now it's like you haven't even mastered the foreplay yet, and now you want to go all the way. And so I want to save you time and money by letting you know some of the problems that you think you're having when it comes to sucking at sales are not actually you sucking at sales. Let's keep going on. Okay, so perhaps you're getting people on calls, but they have a shit ton of objections. And you're like, okay, what the hell? This is time wasting. Like, what is going on? The biggest thing that comes with this is a sense of authority, a sense of confidence. The farther you go along on the sales process, the more the problems become internal rather than external. This is what I mean. If you have no people over here, this can be solved with a strategy. If you have no people over here that are not clear about your offer, that can also be solved with a strategy and a process and leveraging everything. As you get farther along on the sales process pipeline, the problems become more intricate, individual, and internal. So once you get here, the point of differentiation, that is not something a strategy can give you. That is inner sourced, that is channeled, that comes from the heart. Is this making sense for you guys? Once you get farther on the sales pipeline, and if you are getting people on calls and they're like, oh my God, so close. I almost got them to the happy hour. I almost got them out to dinner. Oh my God. I almost got them into my world. What the hell happened here? Usually, whenever objections come up, it is usually a projection of your own inner world about how you feel about your work. And in order to facilitate that and fix that problem, that is multifold, meaning you really have to know and have point of differentiation. You really have to have clarity. You really have to know the other person. And you really have to be able to sit there and look them in the eye and be able to present all of that with the utmost confidence. So over here, if your sales problems are up here, this can be solved with strategy. As you keep going farther and farther down the sales pipeline, this is solved with energy. Is this making sense to those of you guys that are watching? And lastly, if you're just like not sure, you're like, none of this is making sense, I just don't know, I suck at sales. Well, then that's a whole problem altogether. And a lot of it is also based in energy and strategy, and perhaps you need all of the above. Is this making sense to those of you that are watching? Makes complete sense. This really helps. Amazing. So let me just go through this once again. If you're getting no people in your pipeline and you're like, I don't even know who the hell to talk to, I have nobody messaging me, like what the hell's going on? That is a marketing problem. That is a talking about yourself problem. That is an outward problem of like, I am going to come out and I am a business owner and I'm going to tell people about everything that I'm doing and be excited about it. If you're getting some people in your world, but it's just like, yeah, dude, what's up, man? Pound for pound. Okay, cool. You're really awesome and I love your energy and stuff. Then this is a clarity problem. This can also be solved with both energy and strategy, but this is more of a clarity problem about defining what it is that you do, because if people are like, pound for pound, I love your energy, that means you don't have a process in which they could lean into, that they know and they can trust that you're going to take them through the transformation that you're promising. Because if you're like, yeah, let's live our best lives and be empowered and whatever else, then it's not necessarily going to allow them to lean in to the trust, which is why they're like, they don't see you as that authority. Moving right along, I'm reviewing this right now. Getting people on calls, but they want free strategy sessions and they're not actually buying or committing. Then that is both a confidence issue and this is a point of differentiation issue. They don't really know why you're different. You don't really know why you're different. And you haven't developed this energetic, authoritative stance of like, I am badass. I'm the only one that can do this for you. And that's that. And then moving along, closer and closer to the close, if you're not closing the people that hop on and say they're super interested in your work, then a lot of this basically comes down to everything else that you have done strategically, mentally, intellectually has not set in to your energetic and emotional field. It hasn't clicked. There's a disconnect. There's a dissonance between what you do, what your work is, and perhaps you have come up with an offer or you have been taught by a mentor and it hasn't actually sank in to your heart. It's not coming from your own badass authority. The farther and farther you go on the sales process, you guys, the more mental, emotional, and energetic it becomes. The earlier on you are in the sales process, the more it can be solved with strategy, and it's not an issue, okay? And if you are still confused at everything that I had just mentioned, feel free to ask me questions. I'm going to stay on for a couple of more minutes. Did this make sense for you guys, and did that help diagnose your problems? And does anybody have any questions about any kind of action steps that you specifically can take towards solutions in your business? Because I have covered a lot of different symptoms. Oh yeah, this really helps, makes complete sense, perfect. Which kind of issue or symptom did you all resonate with the most? And which kind of solution seems the most confusing and scary? And how did you guys like my sales pipeline? That is my UE boom, my mega boom. Does anybody have any questions? What are you guys experiencing in your business? Was this enlightening for you? Did that make you think twice about what is actually my sales problem? The thing is, most of you guys that are on here are really actually good at sales. If you are empathic, if you are perceptive, you already know how to talk to people. You tend to do live Zoom calls, and that seems to work best for you. Yeah, and everybody has, okay, you guys, everybody has their own sales blueprint. So what Dave is talking about, I tend to do live group calls or live Zoom calls, and that seems to work best. So this is a method of attracting people into your pipeline. What happens after is how do you engage with them, or do they just send you payments right away? Because that could be your sales blueprint, that you're able to take somebody from here to here, which is awesome, which is amazing, and some people have that. If that is not you, don't beat yourself up. Everybody moves their people along the sales process in a completely different way. And this is something that I teach my clients, that every single one of you has a unique sales blueprint, which I'm more than happy to help you figure out. For Dave, is through video, and that's how he sells. For some people, it's more through words. For some people, it's more through interactions with one-on-one. That's how I sell. That's my genius, right? Energetic frequency resonated for sure. Abigail, of course, it did with you. The pipeline is a great example of a sales process. Yes. So the pipeline is something that's used in most sales trainings. Most sales teams talk about having people in your pipeline and moving them along a pipeline. This is more used in direct sales type of environment, when you're selling a transformational based service that is just you and your energy and your skills. Your sales pipeline is going to look slightly different, but for the sake of example, I wanted to use that because I feel like it's just pretty great. Have found that sales happen shortly after live Zoom. Yeah, perfect. So you are specifically coded, and your sales blueprint is coded to be able to move people along without any kind of touch points. So you have a perspective in your mind that you don't even need the wormhole. You don't even need the pipeline, that you're like, I can just go ahead and present my material. That means you have the clarity, the confidence, the authority, and the energy when you present in a video setting all of the things that I have mentioned along a sales process. When you present that in a live video Zoom, people already see it, people already feel it, people know it, people resonate with it, and people buy. So you can actually get to that kind of a, like what Dave was talking about, to be able to sell from one video, just because he already shows people the process by which he's going to take them through. He has the unfuck with ability, like, what's up, I'm Dave, and you're going to learn some amazing shit with me. Okay? He already has this kind of energetic frequency that draws people in because he's highly charismatic. And he has a point of differentiation. There's nobody else that does what he does in the way that he does it. He's super funny. He's very charismatic. He goes about magic and psychic development in ways that no other person does, and people see that and people know that. And he just goes ahead and invites people on in. All of those essentially solve your issues at sales. Is this making sense for you guys of how you're able to actually become good at sales? By taking a look, where along the sales process are you? And you can actually remove the pipeline altogether, like Dave does. I've had those sales types of experiences happen too, that are out of nowhere. And those are the ingredients that need to be present. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. You are so welcome. Any additional questions or takeaways that you guys have gotten from this, and feel like perhaps, you know what, maybe it's not the sales that I suck at. Maybe it's just my authority. Maybe I need to refine my process. Maybe I need more people to hang out with and talk to. Maybe I actually don't know my sales blueprint. That and a good sense of humor. Yes, exactly. Maybe I don't know my sales blueprint. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I don't have an offer in place. Maybe I don't know how I'm different. And all of these things, you guys, can be solved. I actually have come up with a super short program. It is 6 to 8 weeks long. It's called the Sales Wizard, and it's specifically designed to master your guys' sales process from beginning to the end and actually address every single aspect of this. We do this quickly. We do this right away. I had a client go from 10 years of trying to booking a 4-figure sale that was her first after 10 years of taking sales coaching course after coaching course after coaching course, and we simply walked her through this. And she was able to get her first figure full pay. Well, it wasn't a full pay. She actually is paying her early, which is cool. Gotta have the offer to get sales. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people are like, and here's the confusion here, you guys. Your offer is not like how many sessions you're offering. It's not the time that you're offering and the price. It is what exactly are you doing with the human in front of you to help them get the transformation and the result that you intend on getting them. Is this making sense? So in the Sales Wizard, this is exactly what we cover. We cover what kind of strategic things need to be put in place in order for you to optimize your sales process. How is it that you specifically sell? Do you like to write? Do you like to talk to people in person? Do you like to do live streams like I do or like Dave does? Do you like to just sit there and do nothing and have people come to you through your artwork? Some people sell that way. What kind of things need to be present there? We take a look at that. Do you have an offer in place? If no, we're going to go ahead and divulge that, and we're going to channel that because I combine both energetic aspects, intuitive aspects, as well as strategic aspects in all facets of my work. Okay, so then we're going to check out whether or not you have an offer. Then we're going to go see what is your point of differentiation. What makes you different? And then we're going to go ahead and click that in to your energy with unfuckable boundaries, with your expectations of what you expect for yourself and for your clients. And that's how and when the sales magic happens. Dave, whenever he sells, he knows that his clients are going to get awesome results. He's confident as hell in his work. And that's what it comes down to, you guys, is being able to provide amazing service. So if this is something you know your business needs, I have made this really affordable. It's low 4-figure. It's under 3K. This program to get you that first $3,000 or plus sale. If you have not made a sale in a while, or if you have made sales before but need optimizing on your sales process, go ahead and message me. This program is supposed to be fast and whip you through exactly what is wrong in your business and be able to diagnose you the way I've just diagnosed you on this live stream very quickly and provide solutions for any kind of problem that you might have, whether it be a marketing issue, whether it be a point of differentiation, whether it would be a strategy issue, whether it would be knowing your sales blueprint and how exactly you sell, because perhaps you've been told like, I need to be on Instagram, no, I need to be on LinkedIn, no, I need to be on Twitter, oh my god, no, YouTube. Whatever it might be, like none of that is your blueprint. So you need to figure out your own blueprint on where you feel the most natural, figure out your offer, your point of differentiation, and create that unfuckwithable energy that then creates objectionless sales, you guys. So I hope that you enjoyed this live stream. I'm gonna stay on for a couple more minutes to see if you guys have any questions because there's a little bit of a lag. If you have any questions about what it's like to work with me or what kind of offers I have for you, go ahead and message me. But I'm gonna stay on, and if you guys have any kind of feedback on what it is that you learned today from this live stream, just anything you want to say, last minute comments, thoughts, concerns, or questions, I'm happy to answer them if you have them. And thank you all for joining. I hope that you learned a lot. And each one of these processes, you guys, each one of these steps of the process is so fascinating for me to facilitate because in every aspect of my work, I take such a holographic approach. Part of it is strategic, part of it is taking leverage of what you have and taking inventory. Part of it is channeled and energetic, where we literally go into a channeled energetic space where I help you get over and get through certain fears, certain confidence issues. Part of it is defining clarity by extrapolating. I have so many amazing processes in place, and if there's not a tool in my tool bag that can find you an answer, I don't know what will. So on that note, you guys, I just want to say it's been a great time talking to you today about sales and what essentially a sales process is. And I hope that you took away some amazing information about where exactly your business needs help. I hope it was enlightening for you to see that perhaps it's not where you thought you needed help. And if you're watching the replay and have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments below. And I will be popping on here soon for more trainings. Also, feel free to share your experiences in the group about sales, or if you have any kind of questions, or if you want me to do a specific training and a specific question, feel free to post that in the group and I will cover that. So on that note, you guys, much aloha to all of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye-bye.